Hello everyone, this is the Sports Spiral, and today I'm a little behind with the college football previews and picks and reviews and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to kind of wrap two videos in one here. We're going to have Week 8 review, Week 9 preview and review, and then we're going to have college football Week 10 picks. So I'm just going to get right into it. Some of the reviews might be a little summarized, but I'm just going to get right into it here. For week 8, we had Cincinnati barely squeaking by Navy. Oklahoma struggled against Kansas. Penn State lost to Illinois in 9 overtimes. That's a pretty ridiculous game. Wake Forest put up 70 points versus Army. Some other big news. Oklahoma State lost to Iowa State as a top 10 team. That Oregon UCLA State, not UCLA State, just UCLA. So Oregon UCLA, that was a good game. So yeah, pretty good week with some exciting things. Clemson lost again. So that's most of the big news for week 8. I was 12-3 in week 8, bringing my total for the season to 98-36. And then week 9 preview. Since these are just my projections, so I think Cincinnati will handle Tulane in week 9. Obviously, this week has already happened, so I'm just gonna kind of let you guys look at my picks. Here they are. And then here's the review for week 9. We have Cincinnati over Tulane, 31-12. Not great, and I'm going to talk about some of the new rankings after I get through these reviews. Michigan State beat Michigan. Jim Harbaugh has not done a great job against good teams, especially rivals. Wisconsin blew out struggling Iowa. We had Miami knocking off Pitt. Georgia rolled against the struggling Florida Gators. And yeah, that's some of the main stuff. BYU put up 66 points versus Virginia. And Ohio State survived versus Penn State, but it was not an easy game for Ohio State. So my week 9 record was 11-3. And for the season, I am now 109-39. So yeah, here are the new controversial CFP rankings. And personally, I do not like these. I think they should just keep the same thing all season. I think this is kind of weird. So we've got Georgia in 1, as expected. Alabama in 2, which makes sense. Michigan State pretty high in 3. I'll talk about my picks for week 10, but I think they will fall pretty soon. Oregon at 4, they will probably fall. Ohio State, we'll see if they can capitalize and move up. Cincinnati all the way back at 6, so having game day at Cincinnati for week 10, and this is just really bad. I think they just need to give a group of 5 team a chance one season, and because teams like Oklahoma, all the way back in 8, aren't playing as good, I think this would be a good season to just give Cincinnati a chance in the playoff and see how it goes, and then from there they can decide, are we going to let group of 5 teams into the playoff. I know that's kind of weird to test it in the middle of a season, but I think that would be the best way to go about it. So yeah, interesting rankings here. Cincinnati disrespected. We'll see if they move up. They need to really show out in their last few games. They don't have too many big games. They did have that Notre Dame one, which is a good quality win because Notre Dame is 7-1 and ranked at 10th, so they're doing pretty well. So yeah, here are my picks for week 10. I've got Air Force over Army in a close one between those two military schools. And then Georgia, they are really looking good defensively. Offensively, they're getting the job done. I've got Georgia big over Missouri. Ohio State shouldn't have too much trouble with Nebraska. Nebraska just, the expectations have been high for Nebraska, and they've never really lived up to them. And then we should have a high-scoring affair between Wake Forest and North Carolina, but I do have North Carolina pulling off the upset in that one. And then Ole Miss going against Liberty should be a good matchup between two good quarterbacks, but I do have Ole Miss in that one. Under 10 points, though, the difference. Purdue, I think they upset Michigan State. They're a team that really is great at upsets. And I sensed the upset here. So I've got Purdue with that big upset. They've already had the one versus Iowa. And then Cincinnati, they need style points. I think they'll get some versus Tulsa. I've got them 42-13, but they really need to win like 52-10. So we will see how that plays out. And then Notre Dame shouldn't have too much trouble over Navy. I think Oklahoma State slips by West Virginia. And then another good game, this is Texas A&M versus Auburn. Bo Nix has been looking a lot better. Texas A&M had that big win versus Alabama, but I still have Texas A&M in this one, 35-27. This should be a really good game, though. And then Alabama going against LSU. This should be a blowout. Alabama is just trying to get into the playoff. They just need to not lose games pretty much at this point. They don't need style points or anything. They're going to get in if they win out. But I've got them big over LSU, 49-10. Tennessee going against Kentucky, a rivalry game here. I've got Tennessee in this one. These teams are pretty equal. Kentucky's looked better, but I've got Tennessee here. Oregon going against Washington, another rivalry game. I've got Oregon in this one, under 10 points, but this should be a pretty good game. And then Michigan, after the loss, I think they'll win pretty big versus struggling Indiana team, 38-14, my pick there. So that is going to do it for this video. I know it was a little bit quick because I had to go over a few weeks, but I'll try and get back to the regular schedule here in the coming weeks. So that's going to do it for this video. Please make sure to subscribe. And this is the Sports Spiral. Bye.